from Fabbulous Paper Emporium, and welcome to our second tutorial in our Craftsmas in July series. Welcome to all of our new and old viewers, subscribers. We really appreciate you joining us today. And so today is very much, we've just altered our rectangular stepper card. My goodness, I have a hard time saying those words together. Anyways, we're taking the rectangle stepper card and making it a square stepper card. And the reason for that is in this mega pad, which is what we were using on our original, there are some square cut aparts. So if you missed yesterday's, I have linked it up above, so you could click on that if you would like, and then come on back here. So in this pad, you get 36 sheets that are set up like this. Strip at the top, strip in the middle, and 2 cut aparts at the bottom. These are the rectangular ones. I did not do a stepper card in this direction, but you could absolutely do that. But there are sheets like this, which are square. So that is what I've decided to use today. So we've done some quick alterations to our measurements, and that has brought us to this. So unlike the rectangular stepper card where we only put the cut apart on the second layer, didn't put anything on the front, we are now doing actually 3 layers on this one. It's built the exact same way. The measurements in terms of the scoring is exactly the same. So if you joined us yesterday, you will have those measurements. I will give them to you again, so no worry there. But I did want to let you know that it's pretty much the same thing. We've just changed the sizes a little bit. The one from yesterday was an A2 card once it was all folded. This is not. This ends up being about 5 by 5 3/4. 5 1/4 by 5 3/8, I believe. So, anyhow, but that's still fine. And I mean, certainly if you are handing out your cards as opposed to mailing them, it really won't make a difference. So this is our second card, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. Bring out my, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to bring in the pieces so that we can go over the piece sizes with you. Okay, so last minute I cut these 2, so these are going to go on my white piece. Okay, so let's set those aside. For your base piece, we are going to need a piece of cardstock that is cut at 5 1/4 by 11, and we'll be scoring this puppy. Then we have a square that is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. We have one that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And the very top one is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, I think, almost. Sorry, 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And that was because this one is the one that may change a little bit, because I did notice in that paper pack is that not all the square cut aparts are exactly square or exactly the same. So I measured this one, and I did trim off a little bit on either side. So I'll get to this measurement in just a second. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so those are our base pieces. I'm going to set those aside. Now we'll get into the designer pieces. Okie dokie. All right, so larger square, that is 5 by 5. Medium square, that is 4 by 4. And then this was 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, or at least that's what I've cut it at. So I did trim off a little bit. There was just white on either side, so it made it a little bit longer, not exactly square, but trimming that part off really didn't make a big difference. So this is 2 7/4, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. 7/4 would, that, I mean, that is not what it is. Sorry about that. We also have a strip that is going to go along the bottom, much like our the rectangle stepper card, and this one is 5 by 3/4. We do also have 2 pieces that are, these ones are 3/4 by 1 1/4, 2 pieces. And so if you remember, I'll show you quickly on this one, we don't need a piece to go all the way across because this piece is never, you're never going to see the paper underneath it. So we've just done 2 little bits that are, you can go as little as a 1/2 inch and be totally fine. That's what I cut these ones at. Just so happens that this was 3/4 of an inch, so I just left it at that and cut the 1 1/4 length. Okay, and then we have, I just had some, you know, had some leftovers. So I cut 2 little strips. These are 1/4 inch by 2 3/4. And what these will do is I will take my white piece that is 5 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to be placing these on either end, probably a little bit on the inside as opposed to right along the edge. I may just do one, I may do both, I'm not entirely sure. So before I start putting things together and scoring, I'm going to do one thing because I totally forgot, but you are going to be so impressed. I have broken out the forest moss in the distressed oxide because we've got a lot of green going on here that I decided to, you know, just temporarily shelve the vintage photo, but also because a lot of the paper here is white, I just figured I would change it up. So anyways, this looks amazing. I tried it on the cut apart first and really liked the results, so I was probably going to stick with it anyways just because the cut apart was done. I wouldn't have changed halfway through, and like I said, I really do love the results. So I'm going to do the rest of my designer paper. I am coming a little bit more on the front than I have in the past, and I like that. I just want to emphasize the color that I'm using. I did look for red as well, or like a burgundy. I do have a burgundy in store that would look really pretty with this as well. And then I'm just going to quickly do my white piece, and then we can get to making. So these cards are really lovely, you know, decorative elements. And so if you're giving them, they can, you know, certainly sit on a desk, on a mantle, on a shelf. I know some people who put their Christmas cards on the tree, which is super fun as well. So, and they come together so quickly, so easily, and don't use a lot of cardstock. This collection is designed, I think, to give you a lot of bang for your buck. So considering there were 48 sheets in total in the Christmas Salutations pack, I mean, you can get maybe not exactly 48 cards, but you could get a lot of cards. I want to say like anywhere between like 24 and 30, like so 24 to 30 cards easily. Okay, so I'm going to set aside all of my little pieces here. We're just going to keep our base piece out, and I'm going to bring out my score pal. And then with the score pal, so with the 11 inches across the top, we are doing the same scoring as we did yesterday, and that would be at 3, at 6, at 7.5, at 9, and at 10. Okay, we can put this away now, and we're going to fold the same way. So I'm going to put my biggest sections are going to be right here at the bottom. I am folding down first. Going to grab my bone folder. I am going to fold up, and burnish. I'm folding down and burnish up, just making sure the entire time that your left and right sides are aligned. And then last we fold down. And so you should have something that looks like this. So we've got mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. All right, and that's how that is going to stay upwards. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and literally, this is how easy this comes together. I mean, it probably takes you the longest amount of time to figure out what paper pack you're using or what papers. Hopefully you're using that mega pad, because like I said, it is something amazing. It works out really, really well. So I'm just going to start by layering. And like I mentioned yesterday with the rectangle stepper, if you are wanting to, I kind of like it like that. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes more is more, and that's fine. Sometimes less is more. So if you are wanting to put together a bunch of cards right now, because the season is not quite as hectic, or maybe it's something you want to do for the fall, as a fall kind of weekend project, do all your Christmas cards, then that is a fantastic idea. And if you're not sure like what sentiment you want to, or message you want to put on, and you don't want to, you're hesitant to put this on the card right now, set this aside, put it with the card in the envelope so it's ready to go. And that way, when you're ready to sign it and put a message, you can personalize it that way. You can just write the message, glue it on, and you're good to go. Okay, so I've got all my layering done. So we're going to start with our last piece, the back piece first. And so again, we are going to just simply put this at the back. I'm going to take my pencil, make a little pencil mark where I see the top of this back piece. And I'm going to want to make sure that my glue is underneath there. You can use your double-sided tape if you wish. So as I'm putting this in, I like to stand it up and fold it. Fold the bottom pieces in, and this way you know that where your placement is perfect. It's not going to impede the bottom parts from folding in, so we are sure to get that on proper. I'm just going to make sure that that is nicely adhered. I'm going to grab my second piece, which is this beautiful plaid. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I could eyeball it, absolutely. I'm going to do my marks here, but before I put that on, I'm going to grab my little pieces. These are the ones that are anywhere from a minimum of a 1/2 inch. And so it's a minimum by a 1/2 inch by 1 1/4. I'm lining it up with the piece at the top just to make sure that the sides are roughly the same. I'm going to grab my second piece, put it on the other side. This step is not required, absolutely. If you like having kind of the black stand alone, I did do that on my original for my rectangle stepper card. So, and it looked equally as beautiful. So not to worry. And then this will just come in like so, folding up my second piece just to make sure that, again, we don't have anything impeding the folding of the step. And then one of the last pieces to apply is the bottom. Now this one I did do a full length across because you do have those strips in as part of the design of those papers. And then this will go right at the front. So again, just going to quickly line it up. Give myself a couple of pencil marks on either side, just as a rough guide. And then we are going to line this up with the very bottom. So I'm going to, again, whoa, way over. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my bone folder and make sure that is pressed down as much as possible. Oh, I've got that a little bit lower than what I wanted it there. I think we're better now. Perfect. And so this is the square stepper. So this piece is designed to go at the bottom right here. And you know what? I'm probably going to just handwrite a message on, and I don't mind if it's already attached. So I am going to just simply glue this on now. Gotta stand it up so I can see where this fold is. Otherwise the black really does meld in with the background. And so here is what your stepper card will look like. As it stands up, you have the nice, you know, divisions of each step. And of course the beautiful paper as the background. So that is our tutorial for today. I know the first two have been really kind of quick and easy, hopefully inspired. If you have a lot of cards to make, I really do believe that these are, not only do they look fabulous, they are easy to make and they don't use a ton of cardstock. So you're sure to be able to make a ton without breaking the bank. So hopefully you have enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, please give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button at the bottom and don't forget to hit that bell. There's two things going on right now. We've got our Craftsmas in July, so you do not want to miss any more of our videos. We have a ton of videos coming out for the next 10 days. Well, actually, I guess now it is 9 days. Maybe not a video a day, but very close. So you definitely don't want to miss the next one. And we are working our way to 500 subscribers. And once we hit 500, we are going to have a raffle. And there'll be an amazing giveaway. So you definitely don't want to miss that either. Hopefully it happens within Craftsmas in July, because I'm thinking there should be an extra little gift in there for you. So if we can make it happen, I would really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, leave those below. I read every single one and respond to every single one. Hopefully you have had a fabulous time. I know I have, and that you continue to have a fabulous day. Thanks. Bye.